Hello, I'm Dr. Vanita Rattan and this channel is dedicated to skincare for skin of colour. So today's video is reviewing HADA LABO. HADA LABO. I'm not very good at pronouncing things, I'm going to be honest. So first of all, let me introduce myself. So I'm a doctor, but I'm also a cosmetic formulator specifically for skin of colour. So I get asked this question all the time, which is, first of all, what is skin of colour and why do we need different skincare? The reason is skin of colour tans rather than burns in the sun, which means that our melanocytes, the cells that produce the pigment melanin, are large and they are easily triggered. One scratch, one bite or one burn, we hyperpigment. This means we cannot afford to irritate our skin or inflame our skin. So we have to be a lot more educated and intelligent with our skincare decisions compared to Caucasian skin. Caucasian skin, they can literally do Fraxel laser, burn off the top layer of skin and the skin's going to grow back beautifully. With us, that just will not happen. That is just not the case. We will cry after that particular procedure. My job really is to go through every single brand that you request and do investigations into the ingredients list to tell you whether or not that product is suitable for skin of color, if it's going to be effective for us, or if it's likely to irritate us and lead to issues. So today we're going to start our deep dive investigation. So let's get started. Starting off with the first product, which is Anti-Aging Super Hydrator. It's 150 ml for £17.45. So the positives here are, it's very hydrating. There's a lot of moisturiser. It's got glycerin in it. It's got butylene glycol. It's got sodium hyaluronate. It's got hydrolyzed hyaluronic acid. So actually multiple forms, multiple chain sizes of a hyaluronic acid, which is important. Don't forget, hyaluronic acid is a humectant. It's a water magnet. It literally, attracts water into the epidermis, the top layer of skin, and keeps it in there to give you more of a plump, hydrated feel. Okay, right, so the other positives are it's got vitamin A, it's got retinol palmitate in it, which is basically the least irritating, but it's also the least effective because it has to convert from retinol palmitate to retinol to retinoic acid, which is, retinoic acid is actually the most potent and that's where the efficacy happens. So because of that conversion, it's the least effective, but also is good for skin of color in terms of it's not going to irritate us. It's also got a group of antioxidants in it. So it's got beta carotene, BHT. It's also got thioctic acid. So these are all very good. And these are the reasons why I would put this product on at nighttime. Obviously vitamin A you want to be putting on at nighttime as well. So that's how you would wear this. The thing I actually really love about this particular product is that there's no fragrance, there's no alcohol, there's no essential oils in it, which is, you'd think it was simple enough to make a skincare line without these things, but no, they seem to be in everything. So HADA LABO have done a very good job of making sure these key ingredients are not in this particular product. So I would actually say purchase this product. And you know how I very rarely tell you to do that, but actually I would buy this. So I'd apply this after you've cleansed your skin. Then you apply this because it's your active cream, and then you apply your thick moisturizer on top in order to make sure that water is coming from your emollient, from your moisturizer, being attracted by the hyaluronic acid into the epidermis. And that's how you'd apply this. If I was the cosmetic formulator on this particular product, to make this from a good product to a great product, I would add two things. I'd add ceramides in it, and I'd change the retinol palmitate to retinaldehyde. As you all know, retinaldehyde is 20 times as effective as retinol. It's literally my favorite vitamin A. It's a vitamin A form that I put into all my products at the Hyperpigmentation Clinic. So if you follow me on Instagram, you can literally see all my before and afters. I specialize in treating pigmentation and skin of color. That's how I know the percentages that are good for us and what we should be putting on in our skincare. Okay, so moving on to their next product, which is their Antiaging Nitro Duo. Okay, so the positives are it's actually very hydrating. So they've got glycerin in it, butylene glycol, they've got dimethicone, they've got pentylene glycol, they've got squalene. It's It's also got trehalose in it, and it's got triethyl hexano in it as well. So a whole host of very hydrating ingredients. They've also got the hyaluronic acid right in, and they've got multiple chain sizes. They also added tetrapeptide 5, which is excellent. And again, no fragrance, no essential oils. So they've got a lot right. The only downside, which is actually quite a big downside, is the solvent that they used was alcohol. Which is a shame. As you all know, alcohol is just not a good idea for skin of color as a solvent, because it leads to free radical party in our skin, and it's a bad party. It literally damages your collagen, leads to premature aging, which is the exact opposite of what they're trying to do with this particular product. So it's a shame. So what I would say is instead use a super hydrator, the one that I just discussed. I think is a much better hydrating ingredient than this one, because don't forget, they've basically got the same things. They've both hydrating, they've both got hyaluronic acid in it. The only difference is this particular product's got tetrapeptide in it too, but still, just because the alcohol, I would rather go back to the super hydrator. Okay, so moving on to their next product, which is their Skin Plumping Gel. So again, I really love this product. They're very good at hydrating. I think HADA LABO is very good at creating hydrating products. However, it's not really going to plump the skin. I think that's creative license. So here it is. Here's the deal. The moisturizers are urea. It's got butylene glycol, glycerin, glycol. It's got squalene, it's got dimethicone, it's got alpha glucan. So they've got a lot of moisturizers, and I love that. Again, multiple chain sizes of hyaluronic acid, so they're getting that right as well. Again, no fragrance, no alcohol. So again, tick, 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 in my opinion. The only thing I'd say is it's very similar to all their other products. So I wouldn't buy everything. I would buy one hydrating product from this particular brand, whether it's this one or it's the Super Hydrator. I would buy this one if you've got oily, acne prone skin, because it's non-comedogenic. I've just checked every single ingredient to make sure that it's non-comedogenic, and this one is. So if you have oily, acne prone skin, I'm happy for you to buy this. I've actually made a whole video on the best moisturizers for oily, acne prone skin, and honestly, there are not many. In fact, I would say when I was researching it, 90% of the products on the market that said non-comedogenic had comedogenic ingredients in them. So do me a favor, if you want me to actually make you a video on the worst products for oily skin that say non-comedogenic, can you just write that down below for me? I generally really try not to make negative videos, because it's not very helpful really. You know, we just want to know what to buy, not, you know, we don't want to say anything that's going to hurt people's feelings. But in this particular instance, there are just so many that you know, what are you going to do? You're going to go with the branding. If this says non-comedogenic, you're going to buy it, you know, because you're going to believe what's on the packaging. So that's the only reason I would make that video. If you really want me to do it, can you just write down below, please, Dr. V, can you just do the non-comedogenic moisturizers, which are actually comedogenic? Okay, so moving on to their Gentle Hydrating Cleanser. Okay, so the positives are the surfactants. I love the surfactants. So here they've got sodium cocoa glycinate, which is basically created from coconut fatty acids plus glycerin. So it's very mild, it's non-irritating, it's quite hydrating. It's also got cocamidopropyl betaine, as you all know by now. That's a secondary surfactant. It never works on its own. It gives you that lathering boost, so it gives you a luxury experience, but it's obviously quite mild and won't do the job on its own. That's why you always use it in combination with another surfactant. Again, they're very good at moisturizing in this brand. So they've got glycerin, butylene glycol, which I love. I love that they have no fragrance in this product, no essential oils. Well done. They're doing really well. It does actually have glycryl stearate SE and lauric acid, which can both be quite comedogenic. So maybe avoid this if you've got oily, acne prone skin. But for everybody else, I would say go and buy this cleanser. It's an excellent cleanser at a very good price. So for me, this is 100%. Go and buy it. Okay, so moving on to their next product, which is their Wrinkle Reducing Day Cream. Okay, so the positives are the moisturizers. They have done such a good job with the moisturizers in this particular product. So they've got glycerin, butylene glycol, which is pretty standard. But then they've got Simonsia seed oil. We've got Limnantha seed oil. Also got Heliantha seed oil and hydrolyzed soy protein as well. So I love the moisturizers. They've got retinol palmitate in this particular product. So as you all know, it is the cheapest vitamin A. It's the least irritating, but it's also the least least effective, because again, it's got to be converted from retinol palmitate to retinol to retinaldehyde to retinoic acid. So it does have to go through the whole pathway before it's actually effective. The positives, again, no fragrance, no irritants, it's non-comedogenic. So I love that too. This is very good for skin of color. The only thing I'd say is it's not going to be that effective for your wrinkles. And also you never wear vitamin A during the day, because I've called this wrinkle reducing day cream. For skin of color, we just should avoid vitamin A during the day. I would prefer for a wrinkle cream for skin of color, what we need are ceramides, we need peptides, we need fat soluble vitamin C that goes into the dermis and restores your collagen. We also need retinaldehyde, the best form of vitamin A for skin of color. It's also very hard to find because it's very expensive. So even when I purchase it for my clinics, all the creams that I manufacture for the hyperpigmentation clinic has retinaldehyde in it. It's the single most expensive ingredient out of all of them. It's actually more expensive than alpha arbutin, and alpha arbutin cost me approximately £1,000 per kg. So if you can imagine just how expensive retinaldehyde is, this is the reason why no one's going to put it in their product. Until education improves, until consumer demand improves, and you guys say, I want retinaldehyde and this is a percentage that I want, you know, the big companies are just not going to do it because the profit margins are not in it for them. Okay, so moving on to the next product, which is AntiFatigue Eye Cream. So again, it's very good at hydrating the skin. It's got urea, butylene glycol, it's got glycerin, pentylene glycol, it's got squalene, it's got dimethicone, so it's got a ton of hydrating ingredients, which I love. It's also got caffeine in it. Now, caffeine is basically an anti-inflammatory, it vasoconstricts. So there's less blood flowing in that area. It helps to reduce any puffiness of the skin. It is temporary though. Any results you get with caffeine are temporary, so that's important to know. The other positives are that it's got hydrolyzed collagen in it, which is basically a single amino acid. And so that's quite good as well for the skin, obviously. It's got hydroxyproline, which is hydrating to the skin. The thing is, I actually treat periorbital pigmentation at the Hyperpigmentation Clinic. I mean, I think we've done over 30,000 cases of pigmentation for skin of color to date with over a 95% success rate. And I know in our formulas, we use over 30% tyrosinase inhibitors. So we use very high strength actives. In this product, there's 0% tyrosinase inhibitors. So you're not going to see any reduction with dark circles with this product. What you might see is hydration of the area of the skin. You might see a little bit of reduction of puffiness, but it's not going to reduce your dark circles. So it's important to know that before you purchase this cream, so you know exactly what you're buying. Great, so please download your free guide for skin of color. The link is in the description box below. Any questions you want me to answer, please can you write them down below and I'll do my best to answer. I'm in the comment section for 1 hour, the launch of every single video. So when you subscribe, please hit that notification bell for all my videos so you know when I'm going to be live. Thank you very much for listening.